Ready?
If you're an old man like me, you most likely grew up with the Indiana Jones movies and loved them. The exotic locales, the broad range of mythology, the action and chases, the comedy, the theme song, Harrison Ford, I could go on forever. It's fucking Indiana Jones and it's flat out amazing. And of course, with a super popular movie like this comes video games. I remember my first Indiana Jones game was Indiana Jones and His Desktop Adventures, which came on 3.5-inch floppy disks for PC. If I'm being honest, there has never been an Indiana Jones game that sticks out to me as really amazing. I can name a bunch of Star Wars games that I think are fantastic, but it does kind of suck that there doesn't seem to be an epic game for our old boy Henry Jones Jr. here. Back in 2021, the first teaser for a new Indiana Jones game came out, and then I saw the word Bethesda attached to it, and being the absolute Bethesda stan that I am, I was immediately interested. It showed the dev was MachineGames, and then we got a trailer and gameplay, and I was ready to buy in. All I could think about was how much everything looked like an Indiana Jones movie, and my hype was through the roof. So now the game is out, I've played it to completion, and I'm ready to share my thoughts. Before I continue, I do want to give a shout out to my friend Team. He actually gifted me this game, and it was a super nice thing he did, so this is for you, bro. Let's check out Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and see if Bethesda MachineGames can live up to my preposterous hype and expectations. Before we get into the story, I just have to show off this awesome tutorial level the Great Circle starts with. It's the fucking opening to Raiders of the Lost Ark. I was totally not expecting this, and I absolutely love it. The same scenes, the same dialogue, the same events from the movie, it immediately sucked me into the game, and once I got through it, I knew I was in for a great ride. Best tutorial level ever. On to the plot. Indy awakes from a dream to find that someone has broken into Marshall College and appears to be ransacking artifacts. Indiana finds himself face to face with the culprit, who is just a mountain of a man. Failing to prevent the theft, we discover that a cat mummy was stolen, and using a found clue, Indy takes flight to the Vatican. There, he encounters a woman named Gina, the game's sidekick, who is looking for her lost sister. Together, they discover that the cat mummy itself holds one of 17 keys required for the Great Circle. But Indy and his partner quickly find out that the Nazis are also looking for the keys.
Nazis. I hate these guys.
Led by a German archaeologist named Emmerich Voss, Dr. Jones has now uncovered the mystery of the Great Circle before the Nazis do. The plot of the Great Circle is a classic Indiana Jones adventure. You got dumbass fascists and Nazis to fight, really well-crafted allies to assist you, and two antagonists that are very memorable. Not only is the story interesting and the mystery fun to uncover, but the writing in this game is top tier. Dialogue and line delivery is so much on point with the Indiana Jones movies that I would just be speechless with how well the writers were in tune with the Indy universe. The writers knew what they were doing and at times brought happy tears to my eyes. The characters are so well developed and captured. No one feels like an empty shell, and you can just feel the amount of detail and attention that was brought to them. And everything is wrapped nice and tight with an amazing voice cast. You got Troy Baker doing the absolute best Indiana Jones impression. Dude sounds damn near exactly like him. Supporting him are Alessandra Mastronardi as Gina, Enrico Colantoni as Father Antonio, the Candyman himself, Tony Todd, may you rest in peace, and probably my favorite performance outside of Troy Baker, Mario Gavrilis, the voice of Voss. Gavrilis did such a great job as some evil genius psycho Nazi, making Voss worthy to be a great Indiana Jones villain. I don't normally talk about voice acting in video games, but the cast overall is just so damn good. I felt they deserve immense praise. Moving on to the gameplay, we look at the dev MachineGames. I've actually never played a game by MachineGames, so all I knew going in was that they did a bunch of Wolfenstein games. I'm pleased to say I really enjoyed what they brought to the Great Circle. Combat is not very complex at all. Indy has melee attacks, swinging rights and lefts, as well as charge-up attacks. He can also use his handy whip to knock weapons out of the hands of the opposition. And if all else fails, there's a small amount of firearms to use to mow down the baddies. But the most important weapons in the game are the improvised weapons items you find everywhere. Whether they be bottles, sledgehammers, or a fly swatter, random objects you find scattered about are your best friends. This is because the game has a big focus on stealth and stealth attacks. I did find it best to try to just sneak past enemies or knock them out rather than just a head-on assault, as this can get you fucking killed extremely quickly. I thought the combat felt good overall. It's not the best in the world, but it's not bad at all. The animations during a stealth attack are fun, and some are just flat out hilarious, but I do wish there were more variations. I don't play many stealth games, but the first person action reminded me of the old school Thief games from back in the day. Now the most important things for me when waiting for this game to come out were two things. What is the exploration gonna be like, and how fun are the puzzles gonna be? Let's look at exploration. The Great Circle will have you visit many locations, like the Vatican, Giza, and Shanghai. Some areas are just one level, but some areas are open, which I did not expect and was super happy to explore. You can complete side quests, find collectibles, open chests for cash, and discover secrets and mini puzzles. One of my favorite mechanics in the game is when you find disguises for Indiana Jones. You can disguise yourself as the enemy and gain easier access and freedom to move around in previously unsafe areas. Exploring all the open areas and completing all the side quests was so addicting for me to do. I really liked the side characters that you were introduced to, and sneaking around and infiltrating enemy strongholds was just so fun for me. I love collecting and reading all the notes to absorb the lore of the Indiana Jones world, and as well as taking in all the sights and views. But probably my favorite gameplay aspect of the Great Circle was solving the puzzles. I can't remember the last time I solved puzzles in a video game that just thrilled me. I loved collecting all the clues and then taking my time to figure out the solution. I found myself eagerly excited to see what would happen next. I was just so invested in everything. Some puzzles have these small scenes where Indy ponders on the information collected, and it's just like in the fucking movie, and it made me so happy. I mean, the biggest expectation of this game going in was, how much like the movies is it going to be? You can appreciate the graphics and the puzzles, but when it boils down to it, I just wanted to know, will this feel like Indiana Jones? Am I playing an Indiana Jones movie? The answer is, fuck yes. I felt like I was playing an Indiana Jones movie the whole time. I'm sure this was the goal of the devs, writers, Bethesda, everyone involved, and they succeeded with flying colors. You could tell that everyone knew what they were doing and what the goal was, and I really, really appreciate all the effort and attention to detail. The Great Circle is a game for Indiana Jones lovers, hands down, but I think if you like action-adventure games, you will also enjoy it as well. I honestly believe that this game is going to be the start of a run of awesome Indiana Jones games. Once again, everyone involved is very synced with what Indiana Jones is, and I can't wait to see what they deliver in the future. For me personally, this is, without a doubt, my game of the year. No other game had me so sucked in and invested as The Great Circle did, and the game just made me flat out fucking happy. Have you played Indiana Jones and The Great Circle? What did you think of it? Feel free to share your thoughts. Thank you for watching.